Hello, my name is Greta Harrison. Welcome to Born Fabulous Podcast Season 3, Episode 25. The theme of this season is young adults with intellectual disabilities living full lives of independence and interdependence. This episode features Kristen and James Zoll and Lynn Metzger. It is the first of 3 episodes with Kristen, James, and Lynn, which is part of an in-depth series about marriage, featuring parents, self-advocates with support staff, and an employer. Lynn is an important member of their support team. Kristen and James both have jobs that they love. They've been married over 5 years. James and Kristen have Down syndrome. Now please enjoy this clip of Love is a Potion. The lyrics are by Melissa Riggio, who was the focus of Season 1, Episodes 1 through 4. She had Down syndrome. The music and voice are by Rachel Fuller. Hello, James Zoll and Kristen Ruppel Zoll and Lynn Metzger. I am so happy to meet with you today. Thank you so much for giving us your time and letting us have a glimpse into your lives. Hello.
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 And I want you to take a minute and tell us a little bit about yourselves. We can start with James or Kristen, whichever one of you wants to go first. You can just give me your names and maybe 1 or 2 things you want people to know about you.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Hi, Greta. Thank you for joining the show. And my name is Kristen Denise Ruppel. I'm 38 years old. I work in my job that loves works, birthday cards, and my volunteer job doing the center community, my the management, the cellular, and I got 3 sisters.
Okay. All right. Thank you. James, can you tell us your name and a little bit about yourself?
My name is James, and
It's okay. Just do your best.
James, maybe you can let Greta know about how you work at My Yard Live.
yes, account.
Yeah.
I worked at My Yard Live and making a new bill.
Okay. Thank you, James. I know you love your job, and we're going to talk about that later on. Thank you.
Yes.
And Lynn, can you tell us a little bit about what you do? What is your title and what is your role when you help support James and Kristen?
So my title is Home Health Aide, and my role here is as a support person. James and Kristen have been living on their own for a few years now, I think maybe 4. And there are some life skills that I help them with on a daily basis, but they run this household pretty good. But my role is to support them in keeping the household running and assisting them when they go to their work, making sure that they're prepared, and just kind of giving them just a little extra helping hand. They do really good on their own, but sometimes they need just somebody to help maneuver some of the more complex issues. So that's my role. I'm here to help and support and in whatever it is that they need.
Okay, so I know that they take the lead. I know that they run the household. When you said, I know they both work and volunteer both, do you help with rides for them, or?
Yes.
Okay.
So myself, I am Kristen's job coach. I provide the transportation to her work. We did the interview process together with them, got her familiar with it, and then I had a hands-off approach. She would be independent at work, but I provide transportation and facilitate schedule changes. James has another aide that helps on his work, another job coach, and her name is Kayla.
So let's talk about when you guys were in school. I know you were both included most of the time in general education classes in school. James, can you share your favorite memory of maybe when you were in school?
Art class.
Art class. Are you an artist?
No, just school.
Just in school.
Yeah,
But
no.
but you loved your art class.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it because of the teacher, or was it the teacher and the kids? Why is that special for you?
Yes, both the
Both.
kids and the teacher.
Okay. All right. But you're glad that you were included in school, aren't you?
Yes,
You're glad. Okay. And now, Kristen, Kristen, you were also fully included in school in general education classes, most of the time until high school, and even then, most of the time. Can you share a favorite memory of your school years?
I went to Vista Academy Fine Arts. I take dance, ballet, acting, and music. And in my high school, I went to prom, or the name of my friends.
You like going to prom, huh?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, you had some boyfriends before James, didn't you? And James,
Yeah.
you had some girlfriends before Kristen, didn't you? James,
yeah,
you had some girlfriends before. Okay. Well, and Kristen, were you glad that you were included in general education classes in school? Were you happy about that?
Yes, I'm happy.
Okay. Thank you. James, did you always know that you would meet the love of your life and that you would get married one day when you grew up? Did you know that?
yeah, no.
You did know that.
Yes,
Okay. All right. How about you, Kristen? Did you always know that?
I know that my dream is getting married.
Your dream was getting married. And you had a lot of sisters, so you watched them get married, right?
Yes,
Yes.
I do. And James is so sweet to me, and it's there his sparkly eye.
James is so sweet with you. And what was that that you said after that? James is so sweet with you.
I always stare at his sparkly eye, like always.
You like his sparkly eyes?
I stare at it.
You stare at it. Oh, that's sweet. At his sparkly eyes. I love that. So, would you both tell me the story about how you met? Who wants to talk about that?
We met in 2003. He's my best friend, and grew up together.
And when you met, you were kind of dating somebody else, and James was kind of dating somebody else, right? And you just got along
Yeah.
better with each other, right? You were like magnets to each other, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. James, what did you first think of Kristen when you started dating her? What did you first think of her?
love all day.
Can you say that again one more time, James?
Love all day.
Love all day?
And
Okay. And Kristen, what did you first think of James?
He's very sweet.
He is very sweet. It's a very important quality in a husband. All right. Did you each know that you wanted to move out of your parents' house when you grew up?
When I talk to my parents, I sit down with them, I talk to them. That's what we do. I sit down with my parents, talk to my parents.
So you sat down with your parents to tell them that you were going to want to move out.
That's right.
Okay. What about you, James? Did you do the same thing?
Yeah,
You did?
same.
You did the same. So you sat down with your parents and you told them you wanted to move out.
Yeah,
Okay. And what did you have to learn? What did you have to work on to be able to move out of your parents' house? There's a lot to living on your own. There's the shopping for groceries and
Oh,
paying
yeah, I
bills
never
and
know.
all of that. What did you have to learn?
I learned like I'm going to the grocery store with my dad, trash and dishes
Mm, okay. And what about cooking
and cooking. Yes,
and cooking? Okay. And when you were learning those skills, was that when you were still at home and your parents helped you?
yes,
They helped you learn those skills. Okay. Did you have chores, Kristen? Did you have chores?
yes, I do.
And when you were growing up, did you have chores like when you lived with your parents?
Yeah,
You did?
I did.
Okay. All right. James, when you were living at home, did you have chores?
yard work
Your,
with dad.
that's a big one. Okay. So your yard work you did with your dad. So when you moved out, is that when you learned about cooking and grocery shopping and all of that? Did you learn that when you moved out, or did your parents help you before?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. All right, that's okay. Now, tell us about your support team. You have Lynn who helps you, and you
Yeah,
have
Yeah.
other
we got
people.
4 A's.
Okay.
We got 4 A's,
And
and they help us all the time.
they help you all the time. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about how they help you?
Drive me all the time,
Okay.
cleaning the store and laundry and who needs help.
Okay. And Lynn, are you there? Lynn, you want to fill in some gaps of how you help and maybe the rest of the team helps? Okay.
Absolutely. So basically, James and Kristen, on a weekly basis, they put together their meal plan for the week. That's done as a team. James and Kristen, they collaborate and decide what kind of meals, and they're really good at it. They pick pretty balanced meals, sometimes treats here and there. My role, my specific role for my shift is to go over the menus with them and do a sanity check, make sure we've got everything covered, and take them grocery shopping. So they are able to do the planning, the shopping, and when we come back, limited cooking, depends. Microwave, things like that is totally fine. If it gets a little bit more, I would step in and maybe cook some things in the oven. On a day-to-day routine, they have their chores, which they both have a list that they plan out every week, who's responsible for what on what day. And if there are busy times in their schedule, I might pitch in and help to facilitate that, because one thing that we try to do here is teamwork. Encourage that we're all in one apartment during the course of the day, and so we all need to help each other. So we try to make that a reality in all of our day-to-day activities. But for the most part, James and Kristen have an excellent grasp of the planning, the purchasing, and the cooking / preparation for their meals. Due to the COVID happening a few years ago, laundry is done by Kristen's sister, and it's kind of just kept that way. Laundry with James is taken care of by his mom. Similar thing, just became a routine. Didn't really see a need to change it.
They don't, there's no washer dryer in the apartment?
There are. And so what happened was during COVID, the parents would do the laundry because of what was going on. Now, the James's parents still do, and it's more so a residual from the activity in COVID. And I think it just kind of works out better for them.
Okay.
Kristen does her like sheets and towels with Usha when Usha's here on Wednesday or Thursday, and the balance of her clothes that maybe need more special type of laundry care, special garments. Her sister picks that up, I don't know, once a week or once 2 weeks. I'm not sure the routine, but that's how they manage their cycle. They're responsible for their time. They've got a very good grasp on time. And for the most part, and that's part of the aide's responsibility, is just to kind of keep them working towards a schedule if it needs to have to be a schedule. So that's basically how the household runs in a nutshell.
So what about financial things like paying the bills? How does that get handled?
So in regard to, I'll just do the grocery money. James and Kristen independently go to the bank on a weekly basis with their aide and withdraw monies for the grocery for the following week. And we help them pay the bill at the checker at the store. In regard to their own personal effects and incidentals, they both have a debit card and cash and know how to use it, sometimes need some extra help. In regards to the larger rent, etc., utilities, the parents handle all that.
Okay. So it's a combination. It's really a team effort.
It is.
And everybody has some responsibility.
They do, yeah.
Okay. Now, when you were talking about meal prep, I saw a great picture of, I think it was you, Kristen, but it might have been James, holding up 2 plates of really healthy looking food that you had cooked. And I heard that that you guys are very avid participants of Weight Watchers. Is that correct?
Yes, we were going to Weight Watchers.
You want to tell me a little bit about that? Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah, I'll just pop in.
Okay.
Well, Kids and I started every Weight Watchers. I really lose weight, maybe, and we watch our eat, of course, and we go to Weight Watchers meetings on Wednesday mornings, 9:00.
Okay, you go to the meetings and you follow their meal plans, right? You try to cook
Right.
the healthy recipes.
That's right.
Okay, I think that's a great example. And Lynn, you can pop in for this to help too with my question that I'm about to add here. You all also, with your diets, you manage around gluten-free and thyroid issues and things like that, correct?
That's right. And sometimes I can't do dairy.
You can't do dairy? Okay.
No.
And what about gluten? Do you avoid gluten too?
Well, sometimes, not all the time.
So if I could just interject. So with Kristen, her dietary restrictions are to be cautious with the dairy and cautious with the gluten. It's never been rolled down that that's a hard, fast rule, but that's her preferred method of shopping, looking for those items and also cooking with those items. But she's not restricted from having them from a dietary or a doctor reason, but she is told that she needs to, keep those at a minimum.
Okay.
Yeah, James does not have any dietary restrictions per se that I'm aware of. And so he generally likes to eat the same type of food that Kristen does, if it's a gluten-free and or dairy-free, depending on what the meal is.
It makes sense because they're together. His diet is more in line with hers. Instead of cooking 2 different meals for everything. Okay.
Right.
All right. Okay. I think that's great. Well, I commend you on the healthy cooking. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for listening to episode 25 of Born Fabulous Podcast's third season. This was the first of 3 episodes featuring Kristen and James. I hope you enjoyed it and want to hear more. Short video clips from most episodes are available on our YouTube channel and on bornfabulouspodcast.com. You can also hear all released episodes of Born Fabulous Podcast on YouTube now. In episode 26, you will hear Kristen and James Zoll and Lynn Metzger further discuss support staff. James and Kristen also talk about their wedding and what marriage really means to them. Kristen and James have Down syndrome. Please follow and like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd be honored if you would leave a review wherever you heard this podcast. Now please enjoy this clip of Love's a Potion. The lyrics are by Melissa Riggio, who had Down syndrome and was the focus of Season 1, Episodes 1 through 4. The music and voice are by Rachel Fuller.